Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that have been here before will recognise this mountain behind me. I'm not sure of the name of the mountain, but the area is the Fairy Glens. The Fairy Pools. And as you can probably tell from the sky behind me, it is very overcast, there is zero light, and later on there is a yellow weather warning for extreme rain. So I've decided to come out earlier instead of sunset, and the aim for today is to get some nice texture. When there's no light, it's the only thing you can really photograph is texture. So I've come to the Fairy Pools to take some pictures of waterfalls and mountains and see what happens. So I didn't explain before, my main aim for today was long exposures and black and white. Now I'm going to talk you through my first composition and what I'm thinking behind it. It may change, but at the moment I think this is going to be a winner. So what I've got just down in this pool is I've got this little bit of foam spinning around. Now if I angle the camera nice and low and have this down in the bottom half, have it spinning around as sort of a little bit of a foreground interest, and then heading up across all of these lines up into the main waterfall. And I think that is going to be my first composition. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all set up and then see what I can make. So what I've done for my image is I've gone onto a vertical shot into portrait, and I've got in the bottom right hand corner, is I've got my little swirly bit of foam. Before I put my 10-stop ND filter on, I've made sure I've focused where I want it to be nice and sharp, because there's no way I'm going to be able to see through that once it's on. And I'm sorry if you're finding it hard to hear me, massive waterfall just over there. It's going to be about a 45-second exposure. I've got it on ISO 64, trying to reduce as much of that noise as possible, and then, yeah, fire it off and see what happens. So I slightly underestimated how long that was going to be. It ended up being 2 minutes 30 for the exposure, but I am really happy with the results. And I'm going to show you that image now. In a minute, what's going to happen is I'm going to move on to the next waterfall and go see what I can find there. I've just found my next composition, and it was precarious getting here, no word of a lie. It was not easy, nearly fell into some very, very deep water. But I've never seen a picture of this waterfall. It might be because it's so dodgy trying to get across, but I've never seen a picture of this waterfall. The strange thing is I've got loads of people watching right now, so I'm going to get set up, I'm going to get this image. It's going to be another very long exposure going with a 10-stop ND filter, which should hopefully produce some amazing effects. Fingers crossed. So I've taken a few shots from here, and I don't know, it might be one of those places that looks good, looks like it's going to be amazing, but turns out to be a bit rubbish. I'll show you what I got. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. I'm not too impressed by any of them. Maybe when I got back and did a bit of post, they really impressed me and it all changed. But I do like the way the waterfall comes out nice and wide, and you get a really almost like a tongue coming from the bottom waterfall. And I do like the shape of that rock curling round. But I'm really not all that impressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack up, move on to the next place and see what I can find there. There are so many waterfalls here, and so many of them just need light. Just a little bit of light, just to make them pop, make them something special, or even a model, just to give it something other than, oh look, pretty waterfall. Which is making it very, very difficult, me being on my own, to create something spectacular. But I'm going to keep trying and see what I can do, because there must be something, there has to be something. Fingers crossed, eh? And then there was this. If I've ever seen a leading line, this is a leading line. Right, before the rain comes, let's get this image. Woo! Something absolutely epic is happening, and luckily it's not happening here yet, but it is coming. Check that out. So the snow is starting to fall, snow slash rain starting to fall on either side of that perfect little triangle, the impassable peak or something like that, and it's causing it to, giving it a big separation from the main mountain. And I've got this leading line down here, so this is the shot that I'm looking at, and I think this is looking absolutely epic. I'm not sure if I've got enough time to do a long exposure, but I'm going to give it a go, because I really want to get like about a 4-minute exposure on this. I'm really not sure if I'm going to get it, so I'm going to be quick about it. So I've just started my my 4-minute exposure. I've put my, oh no, I forgot to do something. Always remember to close the back of your camera, otherwise the light bleeds through, ruins your image, and you don't get what you're after. So I'm going to start that off again, and then let's see what I get. Fingers crossed. So I've just completed my first 4-minute exposure, and the ISO was still on 64, which, as you can imagine, would give an incredibly long shutter time to get a properly exposed image. So I've had to raise my ISO to 200 to try and get it down to 4 minutes, sorry. But fingers crossed, this is going to work beautifully. The snow started falling again, so I'm getting that separation between the back of the mountain and the main side, and yeah, I can't complain. There is zero light, but fingers crossed I get some really nice black and whites. That's what I'm hoping for today. I'm not really used to doing black and whites, so it's a little bit more of an experiment than anything else, but fingers crossed I get something good. But true to form on the Isle of Skye, the heavens have opened, so I've quickly packed away my ND filters, and I'm going to head up a little bit higher, but I'll show you that last image now. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Like, the ISO did get turned up to 400. 400 to 200, one or two. But yeah, a 2.5-minute exposure, and that's the winner. Job's a good one. But I'm just going to keep on wandering up, see what else I can find, and let's capture some more images. The mini waterfalls leading up the fairy pools. If there was a little bit more light, I would have probably captured this one, but on today like today, it's very flat. It doesn't make it very interesting, so I'm going to carry on a little bit further up. I think it's time to get my waterproof trousers on. It's getting soggy. And there we go, sorted, ready for some rain. So time and time again, every time I come here, I always find myself at the classic shot, that being my final shot. And I'm going to talk you through why. And I'm sure it's a shot that you've all seen before. If you've seen any images from the fairy pools, this is the one you've seen. So luckily, my lens is so wide on 24mm that I can actually get the whole scene in without having to faff around doing panoramic. What I've done to waterproof my cameras, I've got my little shower cap on, and I've also put my my sun hood on to try and stop the water from landing on my lens. I've covered it over for the second, but I'm going to talk you through my composition. So what I've got is I've got this lovely leading line travelling around this way. I've got the panoramic waterfall leading up into the mountains up in the top. I've not used a lot of the sky because there's not really a lot about the sky. The sky is very grey, it's very dull, and it's not very picturesque. So the settings I've got it on is I'm going to focus on the waterfall, which should give me enough depth to keep it nice and sharp. I'm going to manual focus this, and that is looking quality. So I've got it on ISO 64 f11, and that gives me a 4-second shutter speed, which should give me enough movement in the water but also capturing a nice detailed image. So I finished the image, it's looking absolutely sweet, but I'm going to finish this vlog right now because I am as wet can be. Luckily I've got some waterproofs, but I'm going to head home. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to like it and you really want to see as soon as I upload, hit that bell button. Thank you for watching.